They want to bring down Big Daddy Roche. I don't think it's going to take them very long at all, especially not with this Eagle song now finished up on the Faceless Void.
Yeah, I don't think Nip can come and contest this either. You know, they don't have vision set up. I mean, they've got this ward on the high ground, but it doesn't really offer you vision right into the Roche pit, which they need.
Yeah.
You've got to be so careful.
It comes down so quickly. Slaughter, what a hero. Yeah, absolutely no response from NIP here. They're just holding their high ground, waiting for the sweet release of death. Maybe not quite at that stage yet, but could feel like it a little bit.
Have we talked about the Axe on Tanner yet? I don't think we have, right?
No, it's something I'm slowly getting towards, but yeah, not going for the Chrysalis or right clicks, but instead going for that burst.
I mean, it's okay, but this is what I'm talking about, right? If one of the cores gets blown up in a chrono, it feels like they just don't have enough damage now from the other core.
It might be the case. I understand it though, because obviously we talked about how they need the burst to bring down the Faceless Void before he gets Time Walk and heals coming out underneath him and everything, but at the same time, I kind of like to see that in the form of maybe like Chrysalis and I don't know. It still feels too slow. I think the Aghanims is maybe what Tanner feels is the only option. Oh, now Quickening Charm as well. That's gonna feel pretty good.
I mean, it is 950 pure damage before the spell damage. I mean, he could go for the Fire and Soul Stick. We'll have to see, but I assume with the Axe build, he's going Aether Lens next.
Yeah, I think.
Wow.
Jeez, that's uncommittal. He's gonna get caught. See you later, buddy. This is when you ping the ward location. Straight away. Ping the ward location. We've all been there, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Oh, did they just smoked on the dire side, looking to push.
Sorry, don't TV.
14% spell amp on the Lina as well now, so over 1,000 damage Laguna. The Void does have to be a little bit wary at this point. You know, that's still a half health pool.
It certainly do be. And the Hat can easily pick up the other half, so they're going to send in some illusions just to scout the way where it feels like, I feel like something's wrong here. You know, RPG, they're going to go to the backlines, yes, so I control it, it's a great target, can they finish the job? No, I'm going to heal him out so much. Let's move his way away from Miracle, but so much he's got to be getting his well with the wall coming down, something like that, down goes Lawrence, and the rip like 10 out of the same way. He's got no escape. Looks like I'm going to be able to keep on chasing. We want to try to control up this fight, try to get something done, but we have to mind control everybody all around him right now. They're trying to go for the TP out here. There is nothing else to do with it. There's something to do with the safety. Steps for Chris also on the cooldown. He's like, oh, crazy TP. It's sweaty, but that's taking out of the skull. I can question the motives of everything about the fight. I mean, yeah, she gets to the bottom and he's in the fight like that, which is causing so much issues in the front line, but if you look at it, you got nothing to do with this Faceless Void, but then they get Faceless Void with an age just winging it out of anyway.
That fight was so weird because they're playing as if they have no way of dealing with Chrono, right? Like they go in, they try and go on GH, who gets healed up twice by like the Greaves and the Hand of God, and they kind of like dwindle around a little bit. They have to accept that somebody's going to get Chrono. Like they need to have that save ready from Universe to keep somebody alive in the Chrono or something, because the way they're playing at the moment is they're so afraid to commit to these fights. Miracle.
Well, I'm in control of quite nicely here. The rest of the team look like they're backing up, but we in my control still hanging around a little bit, and Wesley running himself forward. He knows how much they've got to heal him out, those Greaves as well. Let's go. No, nothing going to come out in the end. That's going to be a full, clean getaway from Nigma. Oh, so, yeah, Miracle looking for him. He's going to have to chase a little bit further than this, but PPD does make his way out through the Tug of War. And this is going to be an H Poppet surviving. It's hanging around quite a long time here. Get off my outpost. Stupid fish. Oh, Jesus, really get off my outpost. Christ. Alright. Thought you was going to send over a somersault like wow, the time's like that. See you later.
That was, that did a lot more damage than I was expecting. But it's helpful, you know. Just over 1,000 pure damage when he has a 1,600 health pool. Probably should have expected it.
True. That's basic maths right there. And that's with the spell and time as well, so yeah. We have gets taken down by the hack here as well. a great jump from NIP. Again, you know, the moment this game kind of falls off the accelerator from Nigma a little bit, it feels like NIP are just immediately taking their timings and trying to run down Nigma's throat. And especially with this heart on the PL, you know, this does change a lot. This is one of the Phantom Lance's biggest timings in the game when he hits this heart. So it's no big surprise to see NIP trying to play aggressively, but you know, I do think it's worth mentioning. PPD, okay, alright. I do think it's worth mentioning how they're kind of abusing the global presence here and kind of finding, oh, universe, don't get back, oh, look at the credit, alright. See you later.
Sure, why not?
Ruckle's immediately looking for more here. He wants to hack, and he might well find it. And the rest of the team coming over here. The doppelgangers, yeah, I mean, he's not scared. Miracle, he's got all the PKD as well. Luna in a bit of a bad position, but now focusing on the PL. The trigger comes down. Oh, it's a Miracle. You see it later. Now, if you try to run themselves away, but Miracle is still giving a check. BKB from Lance is going to buy him the time he needs to get himself back up to the high ground. GH trying to find his blink in here, but don't keep getting cancelled out. NIP do get themselves up to the high ground. Looks like for now. Oh, they come back in though. He's looking for the back one. It doesn't have that much time to play. The PPD is going to get run down by Weha, so that's going to be the first kill here. Down goes the Prophet. It looks like Nigma are happy with this.
That's a dieback as well, because PPD and Universe both brought back into that last fight, so Miracle might look to try and go here, but I mean 50 seconds until Chrono still, they have to be a little bit careful. Anna's quite far up here as well. Yeah, he finds the Chen.
Hey buddy, yeah. Laguna? No, they're going for the budget kill. They don't need no Laguna. See what attacks runs in. That's so obnoxious.
Yes, Vlad's solar crest on this Chen. It takes ages to bring down.
Yeah, that was a long time. I love this Phantom Rush in crawl combo though, just run over and whacking somebody.
He really needs this MKB on the PL though. Otherwise they don't really have a way of dealing damage to Void at the moment. I mean, if you look at it, like the way they need to play these fights now is kind of dangle this PL at the front for the Chrono. You know, if he has this heart, he is really tanky at this point in the game. He's just lacking a damage item. So if you can get them to Chrono the PL, you know, you have the save from the Sprout, from the Disruption as well. Universe. Try and just keep that PL alive so Tanner can dish out his damage in the backline of these fights.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. I mean, I feel like Nigma are very much in the lead at the same time. Like, you know, it's not a clear-cut game by any stretch of the imagination. There's so many scenarios which NIP can come out on top. Like, it just feels like a very evenly matched game, both in terms of skill and draft. Yeah,
I think we just have to remember though that this like Darkseer Lada combo, right? Like this Darkseer's enabling his heroes so that his net weapon might be a little bit, but what he offers is just so much more in the team fights. Like he has telescope as well for the extra cast range, so get his racks off, get his walls off. They caught the chair.
Yeah, they're trying to go into Curry here, but we know how tanky this guy is. Even the arena coming down, GH and Curry's happy to run around at it. They're on the back one, it's by BBD. Stand up around that ultimate. The win to follow up here. Tanner goes from the good, but actually cuts it in 1 second. Now Chrono comes out. Now goes strategy, but there's officially the Chrono committed to end that might get PPD as well. Okay, that's probably worth it. Not grabbing themselves 2 kills. Miracle now godlike, ascending to the upper echelons. NIP once again caught out in these awkward engagements, and it feels like, you know, the arena, it catches people, it holds them still, but you don't have the heroes to come up and actually do anything in it, and especially when there's not a Chrono available.
I mean, it's a
very hard for NIP.
Yeah,
true. Oh my god, they're trying to unleash onto the base. Let's go get 2 kills. In the same way that the 100 take one, they might just go for this one. There's no buybacks at all. 80 seconds on Tanner, 53 seconds still on Lotus to hack all by himself. What's the call from Nigma? They're going for the barracks. They want to play it safe.
Sleep Fury just dies so quickly. He has Daedalus on the Void as well. Like, his network is just through the roof at the moment.
He's a monster. Miracle is a scary, scary monster. He has destroyed your heroes, ruining your village, taking your buildings. What now, NIP? What is the game plan? This Void has just had too much. Rough laning phase, but unfortunately, he was not put down after that, and now Nigma with a solid performance behind this Void comeback game. PPD, well, that's one way to keep your melee barracks alive. Unfortunately, this is going to have to be a Mega Creep kind of game. What a turnaround.
I mean, it has to be said though that I mean Nigma are just completely controlling these fights. It looks like they're more coordinated. They kind of know what they want to be doing.
Yeah, they have a lot more tools in their box, and PPD TV's into the middle of everybody and ends exactly the way you'd expect it to. Dak in some trouble as well, trying to get himself all either way, gonna turn around, trying to use the double to keep himself alive, doesn't get bought back. He's 25 gold short, just trying to fight up into them right now, but they have got the damage to bring him down, does have the buyback, gonna pop it, get himself back into the game. Blue on Universe trying to do something here, but what are enemy actually trying to do here? And they actually do let it go, with this BKB high on the side, they're just going to get trouble. Dak as well, it's some trouble. They're able to get to him, and this might be the end of my fire. Nigma are just running him around in circles. Dak can't make it down to the low ground. Stun comes out, damage is there, Dak is dead. Meanwhile, Mars also in similar difficulties. Miracle comes in, and there's going to be an ultra kill. Ending the game with a GG from NIP. Getting up the phone, and it goes to Nigma.
Really? Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I mean, I think I have to point out GH this game. I mean, he completely controlled the like 5 to 20 minute mark here. Allowed Miracle to get the space, you know, with that Battle Fury to find his farm. Mind control.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Damn, shut the door, please.
NIP's turn to ban.
Alright.
I'm just gonna go grab some socks.
Alright.
Radiant team ban. NIP's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. NIP's turn to ban. Radiant team pick.
You can start.
NIP's
Cool,
turn
let's go.
to pick. NIP's turn Radiant to pick. Team pick.
Welcome back to the Tug of War Madman Tournament. My name is Nomad, and join me as no fire as we get into this entry match best of 3, and it is a big one. It's Nigma versus Ninjas in Pyjamas, battling it out for those all-important GSL group stage points. You want to be in the upper bracket to make it as easy as possible to qualify to the playoffs. It's as simple as that. Lower bracket means facing elimination, means 1 best of 3, and you could be gone. And Ninja Pyjamas are only 1 loss away from making it there. They got to claw themselves back to a 1-all best of 3 series. Otherwise, they could be in some trouble, and they're going to try and do it on the back of their Mars once again, but this time opting for the Rubik instead. My Farah, why don't you just summarize the last game for us with a rhyme, please? Putting you on the spot.
The balanced fishman. What rhymes with man?
Put them in the can.
This is difficult. Yeah, okay, there you go.
The balanced fishman, put them in the can. Beautiful. Yeah, you do the first, I'll do the second one. Okay, we know what to do next time. But yeah, I mean, GH or Slab are just enabling this Miracle Void to another level. They just ran them over. It was pretty exciting. And Nigma grabbed themselves the first pick. I mean, it was close until it wasn't.
Radiant team ban.
Something that I think all teams are very aware of. But Ninjas, they want to ban out the Slardar this time instead, which, you know, I said to you in between games that I'd be very surprised if it didn't get banned out. I think Nigma have proved time and time again that they utilize this hero very well. But it means the Snapfire gets let through, so Kuroki instantly picks that up for himself. And yeah, they go for the Mars again, and I really like this Rubik pick. I think it's really good against Snapfire if you can ever steal Mortimer's Kisses. It's actually really decent against Shaker as well. You know, one of the better heroes at punishing him with the Fisher Steals that you can get. You have the instant lift as well, so if you can precast the lift just as he blinks in, you can stop any initiation that comes through. Rubik, one of these heroes that's been popular for so long as well now, just because of how well it wins lanes with Fade Bolt. You know, that damage reduction is really important. Interesting to see what they pick up in their offlane though on Nigma, I think, to lane up with this Shaker. You know, I'm looking at one of these ranged heroes that, you know, possibly is really difficult to punish. You know, something like Ench would have obviously been really good, but got banned in the first phase. The other thing that they could look to do is maybe possibly tri-lane around the Shaker and the Snapfire, and then like give Mind Control something that doesn't need too much help, which they have been doing a lot at the moment, so that wouldn't be too surprising, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe you're on the Darkseid game, maybe go for something else, who knows? And Nigma, they're going to be the ones to battle the Void this time around, which is kind of surprising, because I would be very surprised if they didn't want that themselves with the Snapfire, but there we go. What's your favourite combinations for Mortimer's Kisses?
Oh, Chrono has to be one. RP is another one, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, any...
I quite like Duel.
Duel, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like nice short cooldown. You have to get a blink dagger, you just like annihilate one person. Clockwork as well is another hilarious one.
5 seconds remaining.
Not too sure off the top of my head. I think it's around 120 to 110. Yeah.
110 all levels. I mean, I think he might end up getting the Void treatment, and that spell gets a bit of a bigger cooldown, especially in the early levels, maybe. You know how they changed? I think when did they change Finger, or was that always like that, where it has a really long cooldown at level 1?
I think I remember it was always like that. Just get an Axel. 20 seconds.
10 minutes in,
Easy. Time for some Twitch chat analysis. So this is something we're going to be trialing a little bit. You know, we want to hear what you guys have to say and give you guys a bit of a platform. We asked you guys for your comments in between the games, and Better Man 619 is the first one to say, Pio could have played better, they enabled him well, but was scared to go in on Void without Chrono or BKB, which should change. Also, they were stronger earlier before 2 BKBs from Nigma, and had to push for objectives, which would force Nigma to stay back foot. Thoughts on that, my friend? You know, it's pretty in-depth there, really, isn't it?
Put me out of a job. That's the... oh, man. What do I do? Yeah, I mean, the BKB timings from Nigma were really important that game. He's right. So, Twitch chat was right. Big.
Yeah, and unfortunately they didn't have the same thing going on the other side, right? Because NIP, they could go for BKBs all they wanted, but they're still going to get corrosive haze, they're still going to get chrono, they're still going to get run down by the Leshrac, and even his physical damage is going to be enough to offer a huge threat on them, so it's really hard for NIP to match those timings, and they knew that, and they just knew they were stronger and just started running them.
I wonder what they want to go for here on Nip, though. I imagine they probably want to pick Peter's hero. And, you know, like, Nature's Prophet's still in the pool, but I can't imagine it being something they want to pick up against a Snapfire Shaker.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh, straight up Spectre. Let's go.
I mean, this hero's really good at getting on Snapfire at the start of fights, you know, cancelling Shaker's blink as well with Horn.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I want to see what they pick up as their 5 with it. I know something like, historically, like a Warlock, for example, has been really good.
Yeah, no Lich available, he got banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, a lot of the carries have been taken out, like Slark, PL, Lifestealer, Void, all disappeared here. So they need something that they can either match the tempo of the Spectre with, or, you know, try and force something earlier on with their team fight advantage that they have at the moment in Snapfire Shaker.
Some more Twitch chat analysis, by the way. NIP in this tournament are testing their strats for the major. Nigma in this tournament are testing the strats for their future pubs. It's a bit rude. Mute all chat.
You know.
Very, very neat.
Very, very rude, guys. Come on, show them some respect. TI finalists, and TI winners in the past.
Yeah, can't take that away. Yeah, I mean, what are the possible combos are for the Spectre, though? I mean, Lich is obviously the favourite, but he's banned out much earlier on, actually. First phase ban from Nigma. Also, I love that they're first banning this Bat Rider every time against those Pyjamas. Like, I don't think you want to give this team this hero. They played it 5 times with an 80% win rate in the qualifiers. Like, these guys love that Bat Rider, so Nigma's just like, yeah, nah, we're not playing with that.
I mean, they're really taking their time. This is... I mean, last game we saw the draft happen relatively quickly, especially in comparison to this. But both teams kind of knew what they want. But when you get into the second game of a best of 3, everybody starts to, like, kind of second-guess themselves. Oh!
Well,
so
there we go.
Shaker 3, I assume. And a Snapfire mid, dude. Let's go.
Oh god, no, please no. I'm not ready.
Oh my god.
I mean, I assume it's Snapfire 4, Shaker 3.
Nigma just want to run
So
them over.
Is it? It's not what I would have expected.
Is it going to be
So,
Shaker
it
from
seems
Miracle?
Seconds
Or does Miracle play Timber?
Snapfire Shaker's
this
a
game?
really strong lane.
That does sound
I
pretty
think
sick,
Miracle
actually.
plays Timber.
You get the
So I assume he's-
cookies,
okay, so
the
Mind Control will then
damage
play the
as well, you know,
Shaker.
you've got the scatter
Miracle's
blast.
pretty-
There's a huge
I
amount of burst
mean, Miracle's
coming
played
from that.
Shaker in the past, though, right? Which is why I'm just questioning it a
Get to
little
level
bit.
3, man. It really starts to hurt.
But NIP, what do they need at
Expect
mid? They need
something
something
from-
which can completely control the tempo of this game. Can line up versus the Timber or the Meepo if needs be. I don't know what you
Oh,
pick.
Jesus, what a...
There's so much which they need this hero to do, this final pick. Oh. Oh. Offlane Snapfire.
Let's get hyped.
All right.
I'm
That's
ready.
gonna butter my toast. Let's get into it. It's an interesting pick versus the Mars as well, because obviously you can jump over that spear wall if you do it right, but unfortunately when you get speared, you get turned around and face your aggressor. So then if you get cookied, you won't be. It's a bit awkward. You will disjoint the spear, but yeah, you can actually get out of the arena if you position it right, but it's not that easy to do, is what I'm trying to say.
Do you reckon it should work like a Matrix kind of thing as
Yeah, definitely should be a thing. Okay. From mind control, but maybe that doesn't feel very mind control to me, though, does it? That seems like someone else would do that. I think he's more likely to just kind of go for this Reeves build and be kind of like an aura guy, like he usually is.
Yeah, I don't think it's his job to do damage this game, right? Like they have a Timber, they have a Meepo as well. They want to try and like play around this early timing with the first rush. You know, build these items on your team that allow the Meepo to sustain. You know, possibly a pipe as well might be pretty good. Miracle might be the one building that. I'm not sure, but they want to hit this timing early on when they get the first rush. Shaker gets a blink, and they just completely choke Nip out of the map. You know, this SF and Spectre both need farm, right? And so if you can take that area of the map away from them where they feel safe to farm, especially with a Meepo running around with the gank potential that he has with a potential early E-Blade, for example, as well. I feel like Nip, they have to have a decent start to this game, otherwise they're going to fall further and further behind really quickly.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. It's as I say, I mean, I think it's all on Tanner's shoulders right now. This boy needs to be ready to carry this game on his shoulders, because after last game with Lelis, maybe I'm underestimating the Mars, but from last game from Lelis, I'm kind of concerned that he's not going to have a big enough game impact to hold back the aggressive Riptide, which Nigma's going to be thrown their way. I think they might just get washed out to sea, but definitely excited to see what's going to happen.
I'm not really sure how this SF Meepo matchup goes either. I haven't seen much of this matchup before. I mean, in theory, Meepo should be fine, right? And they just kind of trade farm. Meepo just farms a little bit quicker, especially with the raised build from Tanner that he goes, with this triple mango. You see a lot of at the moment.
GH nearly being roasted up here in the top lane, but with Kuroki's appearance, it'll force them back for now. Not really much they can do into this.
Nice little head just as well on Kuroki and on the Snapfire, actually, too.
Which I was going to mention. Who is going for this mech? Do they know?
I mean, does one of them build a pipe? I mean, they might even just keep a casual headdress. I know Kuro did that last game. Yeah, he went for the Vlads into the Solar Crest and just kept the headdress the whole time. There's no reason not to. A little bit of stats, a little bit of health regen. It's 1200 radius, by the way. Can we talk about that? It's so ridiculous.
It's big.
I don't really know what Nip is supposed to do in this bot lane. I'm pretty sure like Kuro just starts in the jungle a little bit and gives the Timber the XP in the bot lane. Then he hits level 3 and I'm scared of anything.
Mars vs Timber does not sound like a matchup you want to be involved in if you're a Mars player. I'll be real. But, you know, could be wrong. I feel like I'm saying that a lot about these things, you know, just things which on paper look bad for an IP, but could possibly be
over that spear wall if you do it right, but unfortunately when you get speared you get turned around and face your aggressor, so then if you get cookied you won't be, it's a bit awkward. You will disjoint the spear, but yeah, you can actually get out of the arena if you position it right, but it's not that easy to do is what I'm trying to say.
I reckon it should work like a Matrix kind of thing as well, where like if you cookie somebody that's got a spear thrown at them, they should be able to like jump over the spear.
Jump over it, yeah. Definitely should be a thing. Okay. Man, I mean, okay, so Snapfire and Millflame. I'm interested to see what items he builds. This might be a Javelin Rush, I think, from Mind Control, but maybe that doesn't feel very Mind Control to me, though, does it? That seems like something someone else would do. That I think he's more likely to just kind of go for this Greaves build and...
Yeah, I would assume damage this game, right? Like, they have a Timber, they have a Meepo as well. They want to try and like play around this early timing with the first rush. You know, build these items on your team that allow the Meepo to sustain. You know, possibly a pipe as well might be pretty good. Miracle might be the one building that. I'm not sure, but they want to hit this timing early on when they get the first rush. Shaker gets a blink, and they just completely choke Nip out of the map. You know, this SF and Spectre both need farm, right? And so if you can take that area of the map away from them where they feel safe to farm, especially with a Meepo running around with the gank potential that he has with a potential early E-Blade, for example, as well. I feel like Nip, they have to have a decent start to this game, otherwise they're going to fall further and further behind really quickly.
Yeah. No, absolutely right. It's As I say, I mean, I think it's all on Tanner's shoulders right now. This boy needs to be ready to carry this game on his shoulders, because after last game with Lelis, and maybe I'm underestimating the Mars, but from last game from Lelis, I'm kind of concerned that he's not going to have a big enough game impact to hold back the aggressive Riptide, which Nigma's going to be thrown their way. I think they might just get washed out to sea, but definitely excited to see what's going to happen.
I'm not really sure how this SF Meepo matchup goes either. I haven't seen much of this matchup before. I mean, in theory, Meepo should be fine, right? And they just kind of trade farm. Meepo just farms a little bit quicker. Especially with the Raze build from Tanner that he goes, you know, with the triple mango. We see a lot of at the moment.
GH really being roasted up here in the top lane. But with Kuroki's appearance, it'll force them back for now. Not really much they can do into this.
Nice little headjust as well on Kuroki and on the Snapfire.
Yeah, and on the Snapfire, which I was going to mention. Who is going for this mech? Do they know?
I mean, does one of them build a pipe? I mean, they might even just keep a casual headdress. I know Kuro did that last game.
It's great for laning.
And he went for the Vlads into the Solar Crest and just kept the headdress the whole time. There's no reason not to. A little bit of stats, a little bit of health regen. It's 1200 radius, by the way. Can we talk about that? It's so ridiculous.
It's big.
I don't really know what Nip is supposed to do in this bot lane. I'm pretty sure like Kuro just starts in the jungle a little bit and gives the Timber the XP in the bot lane. Then he hits level 3, and I actually don't think they do anything to him anymore.
Mars versus Timber does not sound like a matchup you want to be involved in if you're a Mars player. I'll be real. But, you know, could be wrong. I feel like I'm saying that a lot about these things, you know, just things which on paper look bad for an IP, but could possibly be okay, perhaps. Alright. Right towards this middle lane, Tanner starting things out with the Shadow Rays. It's doing a decent amount of damage to the Meepo in the process as well, and just controlling up this first wave, as expected, and going to grab himself some points in Necromastery. Now can get to work getting those points up and being able to lost it a little bit easy without having to just throw loads of mana into the lane.
Yeah.
Always feels good.
You'll notice what Tanner...
Top lane to hack though, you might be in some trouble now. They don't have the ability to finish up under the tower there. Gonna have to pop south, get himself out okay.
Love this double headdress lane, by the way. Amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
They just want to give the Timber the XP early on, and then the channel kind of like
Oh my god.
be freed up to rotate around a little bit more.
What does Lennis do down here? Can he do anything?
What do they do? It's a Timber. He's lazy.
Yeah.
It's a strength hero. it's horrendous to try and play into.
Not for you.
Oh, sick deny from Kuro under the tower as well. Yeah, NIP already looking like they're off to a bad start, but like let's focus on the middle lane. I mean, Shadowkeep's off to a great start. 9-2 currently on Tanner thus far.
Yeah, something I was going to point out before, sorry, as well, is that he actually saved 200, or I think it was 185 gold of his starting, just to be able to rush this bottle early on. So you see, he's now been able to pick that up. Going to be very happy. Look, just before that 2-minute rune comes as well. So that's why you see Weeheart instantly running top. Let's see if he can get it right.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Lucky boy.
Wins a 50-50, wins a coin toss, trying to draw it, getting roll up at top with the rotation in from Universe. They're able to draw first blood onto the mind control up here at top. A great rotation from NIP, and that is exactly what they needed to start getting things rolling in their favor. They have kind of given up on this bottom lane, you know, and let's just going to go and pull the creep wave, try and farm it up as best he can. Meanwhile, they're going to try and put their focus up onto winning top and securing Dahak some kind of lane here.
I mean, Dahak has 1 CS at the moment, so, you know, the fact he gets that first one is actually a really big deal, because he was getting absolutely nothing out of the set before.
Yeah, we usually say that we mean very little, and this time we mean literally 1 CS. So, Jesus Christ. And it doesn't look like it's going to get that much easier as well with the aggression from GH and Mind Control up here, and Kuro just raiding the jungle, make it really hard to pull, messing with the creeps. It's a messy old lane up here in top. NIP need to... I don't know what they need to do, to be honest. They've already got the extra hero up here, and it's still not really going in their favour just yet.
We appreciate how many denies GH has, by the way, with this enchanted totem up top lane.
It's so annoying, isn't it?
10 denies. That's where all Spectre CS has gone. 10. Yeah, look, 10. Nice. That's ridiculous.
It's a whole lot of denies. It's a whole lot of denies. Meanwhile, over in the middle lane, Weeheart now has a second Meepo up, level 4, so he's going to be heading to the jungle. Tyler should be having a relatively free time in the lane at the very least. Going to be very interested to see what he builds this game as well on the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, are we going to go see like a drums crystalist build, or is he going to go for something more magic based? No, we have seen some Yules builders still, which is interesting. I thought that Iron would have completely died off, but... Oh, nice some Weehaw there actually at the end, just to steal some Talon's XP from that medium camp.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to see if he can grab a little bit extra on the Meepo. Meanwhile, going for the 50-50, should make it as well. No net on the Meepo, so no way stop time grabbing that one. So, things coming up a little bit in IP favor in the mid lane. You know, looks even on the CS, that's because we have been jumping over to the jungle quite a lot. So Tanner is actually winning this one so far.
Top lane as well.
Uh-oh. Dark. He's getting low. He might get finished off here, getting under the tower. No, he's going to be okay, especially with PVD coming over. I mean, they can't dive him, but still some consistent pressure onto the Spectre, giving him an awful time. Meanwhile, the Pied Piper of the Creeps, Lelis, is going on an adventure. Meanwhile, Miracle, he's farming in a secret shop. Bottom is interesting.
A really early ring of Teresk on the Spectre as well. Not something you see a huge amount of.
No, certainly not, but I've always considered this item to have like decent enough stats to warrant going for it sometimes.
Mid lane. We are worried about getting chased around a little bit, especially with Universe.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
How you doing?
Poof himself back to safety. Universe is a bit of a threat here.
That should help.
I mean, these side lanes have just been a pretty big disaster at the moment for Nip, though. And it's only going to get...
But Lelis got a courier. Got him.
Easy. Have you seen there was a Dota WTF video yesterday where somebody got a triple kill as Mars using the God's Rebuke, like a triple kill of couriers. It was quite, you know, amazing to watch.
Sounds very satisfying, yeah. Oh, once again, jumping onto the Spectre up here in the top lane. They don't seem to have a lockdown to finish the job, but once again, the Hack's being forced into the town. 19-1. Kuro, yeah, they could get the return. Lift up, throw back. The Hack coming over. Does have enough mana for a dagger if he pops that mango. It looks like Kuro's kind of accepted his death right now and will be dropping here. Mind control, unable to do much about that. So they find themselves a kill at the very least. PPD, unfortunately, is the one to take it. I'm sure the Hack would have wanted that one, but they're still holding on for now.
Oh,
all right.
That's not what you want to see.
Why are you pausing for that?
Yeah, what's
going on?
Yeah.
Well, Phone's net worth and see Tanner on top, just about squeaking ahead of the other two, but Miracle and Weehaw close in pursuit, doing pretty damn well in their lanes, respectively.
This top has actually gone better than I thought in terms of net worth. I guess when he got the first blood, that has helped a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is a flip side of what we saw last game when the Void got shut down in lane, made a miraculous comeback. Now it's Dahak's turn. Uh-oh. This is a dead room. They're getting caught out in the river. GH closing the gap as well, and will be sneaking out my kill as well.
I love it when you get a kill as a support. You know, your cores just use the voice chat lines, you know, like, well played, we believe in you. I bet they're super PMA in their voice chat whenever they get a kill on Nigma.
100%.
There are some stacks here for Meepo to take, by the way, as well, so his farm's going to accelerate a little bit here. Yeah, so
uh-oh. PPD. See you later, maybe. Try to take him damage to come out. I mean, that is a damage. You're going to have to do it right clicks, and with the one coming out, yeah, looks like PPD. Making on the full mind control, still chasing a scout blast ball through the job to Hack, unable to keep his captain alive. I think they get themselves a kill. But NIP, they're looking for the response here. Tanner coming up. The Hack's sticking around, and he's managing to bait this beautifully, keeping them locked in. And now Tanner shows up. Universe backing him up as well. They're going to lift up GH, trying to get it all. Quickly actually makes him out of position here, setting up for the kill from Universe to finish the job. A little bit of miscommunication there, I feel, from Nigma, and that does result in GH dying without being able to get off anything, really. But yeah.
I love how SF just takes all the farm top and then just TP's back mid as well. It's like, sorry, Spectre, that's the gank tax, I'm afraid. I have to also take your farm.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Honestly, Lone Face not going as convincingly for Nigma as I would have thought. They're holding this top lane down to a reasonable level. I mean, it's still not looking good by any stretch of the imagination from NIP. Still looking very good for Nigma, but they're in this game still.
The only reason they have this 10th pick SF, right, which is always going to do okay against Meepo. You can flash farm as well through the jungle, so you know, you've got that going for you as well. But I don't think it's gone well enough for Nip. I mean, with the heroes that they have, I'm not sure their side lanes can go massively well, but even so, I think Miracle, like down in the spot, has just been completely untouched, right? Like he's late now. I say him.
Oh, here we go. They're trying to make it work. I think they get dropped off the info. Oh, no. They wouldn't be able to win. Miracle actually get himself up to the high ground with the timber chain. What comes out of the Requiem?
It was the Fisher from GH. This is what I mean. What?
Oh, from alongside. Where was that? How did he even get that? Meanwhile, he's down in the river. Oh my goodness.
What a sick Fisher from GH.
Jesus.
You see where they just plopped a ward down? That lane. Like, GH was just there to put a ward down. He's like, oh, I'll stop this gank as well. That's pretty nice. In the right place at the right time, as all position 4 shakers should be. And now because Miracle's taking ball.
Oh, surely they can finish in this time, right? Surely Miracle can die, but once again, the Requiem getting interrupted. Ipath comes down. Miracle has thrown everything they've got him, but he's just going to timber chain himself away to it. Now in comes Mind Control, throw it in the artillery, getting around down, trying to duke it out. In just Miracle going down the back way for this action. She's going to go open at the door, but Tana is dead. As Mind Control goes towards the step pass, now they're towards BPD as well. BPD is going to get dropped with a second kill. They lose the Timber Sword, but they grab themselves 2 kills in response, and one of those being Tanner, the big boy they needed to kill. I think we're going to be happy about this one. Now they can open up on towards this tier 1 tower in the middle lane as well. Universe just killing off those creeps, but not much else they can really do to keep this one alive. And there's some pings coming out. They've got an Arena of Blood in 5 seconds as well, but Nigma, they seem to have this one tied. In comes down. They go for this one right now. They're going to try something, but unfortunately something ends up being nothing. And NIP are left empty-handed once again. And now 3 heroes wandering around middle lane with their fingers in their noses, not really knowing what to do with themselves.
Yeah, I think every death. GH.
He's got in this route. Very handy.
That's very nice of him. Yeah, I was just say, I think every death that Tanner gets though on this SF like really sets them back the tempo that they can play on Nip. So I think if you're Nigma at this point, I think you should be really happy. You know, that death on the SF sets him back quite a lot in comparison to what they want from him. And he has a toe on shaking, so he can get level 6 against the Echo. They have to be wary about that, especially because of the invis route.
Spear on fire. Once again, not actually taking down the trees. A good strip there. Miracle is on triple now. Does get finished off. No chance of Tim Jen away from that one. 5 heroes on 1. NIP are able to kill off the Timber Sword at the very least. Miracle now at 2 deaths.
Yeah, he just had Hood coming out as well on the courier. See it flying back to base. He's like, oh. Like, it's a lot more difficult to kill, especially with the active. You've got to be really careful. That's 2 deaths in a row now on Miracle that kind of felt a little bit forced. You know, doesn't necessarily need to be there.
Yeah. Like, we understand you want to be jumping down their throats, but, come on. And Hack actually goes with Radiance. Okay. Well, this makes the game very straightforward, really. We now have a race. Can Nigma do enough damage before the Hack can get this Radiance? It's going to be a pretty good item versus the Meepo. Miracle in the mid lane again. There's only 2 heroes here right now. We hard back them up as well. Not really much of a threat.
The problem is, even if the Spectre gets
Flawless. See you later, buddy.
The problem is, even if Spectre
Плюс все время все
them to be able to take fights, like he needs 2, maybe 3 items. And at that point, Meepo is going to be like 6 lives.
Yeah, but you're going to have your Shadow Fiend as well. I think what the Radiance is going to do is just going to help the Spectre be a factor and just be able to like cause lots of chaos, cancel some bullets, and more and enable the Shadow Fiend to do what he wants.
But look at the damage they have on this Radiance side. If you get Radiance, they don't care. Like, they're still going to run at you and kill you.
True.
They have
Maybe.
loads of magic damage. They have the Timber just running at you as well. He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, we need the BKB on Shadow Fiend, but...
It's 12 minutes in and they have a 5k net worth advantage. The Spectre just farms so slowly.
But once again, you know, they'll find Miracle for a second time, maybe. You know, he does not get up a timber chain here. We're going to come down there, but nice Fisher coming out from GH and then... Miracle, it doesn't make sense.
Point out GH in exactly.
Oh yeah, always with these fishes.
Just counter Requiem again and again. Yeah.
You can't use Requiem in this game.
Remember I said it was a 5k net worth advantage at 12 minutes? It's 9k at 30.
How the? Jesus.
You get a tower, you
Okay.
get kills.
Alright, this game went from, you know, possibly Nellaby standing a chance to not looking that great for them. Dark Plus says 72% chance for Nigma to take this one. And I like the Dark Plus loves Spectre as well, so. Big Spectre fan.
I mean, it was a Spectre fan in the past. I don't know if it's a Spectre. Is anybody a Spectre fan now?
True. Lilith getting shot up by the Nepo's Ethereal Blade. Miracle coming in as well. Godric not going to do much to save Lance's life. He is going to get dropped.
This is interesting as well from Nip in terms of their drafting pattern in this game. They picked their win condition hero, the third pick both times, and it feels like in both games it's been completely answered, right? We have the PL first game into the void in the left. In this game, it's a Spectre that's just getting run up by a Meepo and a Timber.
And now, onto the Hyphen we go. And this is going to be PPD, dead to rights, jumped in, killed him. Nigma getting started on the tower, and it's not going to take them long to get through it at all. Tunna doing what he can, throwing out some spells. Unfortunately, it looks like there's not much left in the tank for NIP to defend this one. What is your Radiance up? Still a little bit away from that one, I'm afraid, with the hack, but Nigma taking some damage here. And the Aegis carrier, here comes James, going for the slam onto Tunna. Tunna, he's going to get something through the unfortunately sending himself still. Artillery to come in from Tunna here still. Keeping himself just about arriving. Versus back through this one, but Neon Power has taken down the tunnel already. Lance trying to get himself back. The backlash Miracle just posturing on them right now. They can't do anything about this goddamn Timbersaw just sitting on their faces and suffocating them. PPD trying to throw out some spells from the sidelines here, but Mind Control's also a threat with a fire snap cookie as well, and would jump in at any given notice.
I mean, Meepo as well, just sending his clones back one by one to the face.
Netted, the stun comes through from GH as well. The ultimate they're going to come in from Tunna. Maybe they can bring down the Meepo's first like it. They really need to try to get something nice. Arena coming down from Rollins as well. They're really trying to focus that wave of wing. He's going to be okay. That's a great time. 78 Universe says enough, gets his fissure out, but I mean, it's just the first life. It doesn't really matter that much. Nigma's still perfectly in control of this high ground attempt right now. Maybe they'll start showing some respect and backing themselves away, but honestly, do they need to respect him, I think? I don't think they do.
I love everybody else just fighting and Kurt's just hitting the building with like all his little creatures as well. So guys, come on, focus.
Yeah, keeping the royal creeps behind them as well, just making them nice and two different goes Turner. He's getting very, very quickly. Universe as well, going to get finished off as well. Nigma, they are not particularly going to make back so now, unless they put inside the shackles. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, Nigma. Alright, Nigma, you're showing off at this stage. 4 heroes dead, Shadow done it, but Nigma, they see the opening, they're going for the tier 4s, and they are probably going to get them as well. I'm not really seeing much left in this one, I'm afraid.
That was a dieback from Tanner as well. Like, there's no
It was
50
indeed.
seconds here. What have you got?
Yeah. 3-man defense with a Ruinous Spectre? Yeah, alright. I'm not sure that's going to quite happen as Universe gets blown up on the front lines. PPD get in next target as well. There's artillery coming in over the top, but that's going to be a GG thrown out, and the game will go in the series to Nigma. Very, very tight performance.
If they'd have got the tower at the end, all of Nigma's heroes would have been top 5 net well. That's what I was hoping. But, I mean, that game went very south very quickly, just because of that top lane fight. And all of a sudden, they just start running down that top lane, take tower after tower, and Nigma were like, you can't stop us. I'd be very surprised if that isn't the quickest game of the tournament.